Okay, now let's take it from a mounted position. I got the upper hand temporarily, but it's easy to bump me off, especially a larger man against a smaller person like myself. What I want to be able to do is pin him on the ground and to get him into a position where he can't really fight with his arms too well. Again, head and neck area is always viable. Okay, the armpit, again, will work well, but not well enough that I'm going to depend on this, because if he's grabbing onto my shirt, okay, and I'm fighting him, it causes pain, but he's on the ground, he's based, he's not going to jump anywhere. I'm actually sitting on him to pin him to the ground. So these don't really work as well. Some of the chest points, they're annoying, but they're not going to really do anything to make him let go. But as he grabs on, we've got the availability of the mental nerve, we've got small intestine 18 up underneath the cheekbone. Small intestine 18 goes in like you're going toward the opposite eye. So pull me in tight. Okay. I'm fighting with this person, I can just easily get up. And from there I can go right into an arm bar if I have to. Okay, so if I'm fighting with this person and I'm down in through here, just the thumb right up underneath that point. It's very painful. Another thing I could do is dig a knuckle in, a forearm in. Now, here's something cool about the old martial arts. We have forms like Tai Chi, where nobody really expects you to be able to grapple on the ground with Tai Chi, okay? But everything is possible when you're using the pressure points. There's a movement in Tai Chi that moves just as slow. Okay, if he's grabbing me in and I've turned his head by using a pressure point on the side of the nose that we'll cover in a second, I've turned his head, now my wrist is up underneath that cheekbone. Just a little pressure and you can start to see that he has some pain. So just even in that motion of Tai Chi, you can see it has grappling aspects. And that's what's so wonderful about these pressure points is no matter what style you have, you can take it anywhere. It just is limited only by what you know in your mind. Okay, some other points that we can work. The side of the nose. I want him to turn his head, okay, but his chin's tucked down and in. All I need to do is loosen the head with the pressure point right on the side of the nose, called MHN18. And I'll explain the designation a little bit later. But really, he's tight, okay, all I have to do is reach over and push. Now bear in mind, I'm using the soft tissue of my thumb. I'm not digging in with the knuckle, okay? If he's pulling in tight and I dig in with the knuckle, it's just that much more intense pain. If I can also get below the MHN18 to a point called large intestine 20. This will also cause pain and dysfunction on the person as well. Now remember, we're not trying to knock the person unconscious. We want to gain the upper hand in 1 second. That's the idea of Kyusho. So we're grappling on the ground. This gives me my quick escape for an armbar or for follow-up technique if I wanted to do it in a regular fighting situation.
From here, we're going to show a different type of attack, not normally practiced in Aikido, but from a jabbing motion, how do we negotiate this type of attack? It's very quick. It's not as lethal as a regular ski attack. Show regular ski from behind, striking here. This one is very quick. It's jabbing to your face, very quick jabbing. Right. Okay, so from here, he's attacking very quickly. You can still take kotegaeshi. Okay. If I feel that I can't take kotegaeshi on the first one, I could always fade back for example. Try and catch his timing. Okay. One more time. You can also take kotegaeshi as he's retracting his arm slowly. And so instead of trying to take kotegaeshi as he's attacking, as he pulls his arm back, take kotegaeshi here. So it looks a little bit something like this. I'm pulling back, down. Slowly. So if we can't take it here, we can fade back and then try and get back in. From here, we're going to be practicing techniques from a slashing type movement. Make sure I reach my face. Okay. So from here, we want to catch with two hands. So the movement is both hands up, absorbing the strike. Here. Absorbing. Both hands up, straight up, straight up. Here. Cut straight down. Okay, this side. A normal yokomichi shionage may not work in this case. That's why I enter in. If we take yokomichi stepping back, cutting down, I might get cut on my arm. So if I step back, cut down, it's possible that I get cut on my arm here. Okay? So instead of fading back, I'm going to enter. We don't always have to try and enter directly off the first attack. If he's slashing towards us, we have an option of also fading back or trying to evade his initial attack. Okay? So from here, we don't always have to EDM. We can fade back, we can step back here. From here, we don't always have to try and disarm him from the first attack. We can wait for the second, the third, maybe even the fourth time. Whatever it takes to take him without us taking a lot of damage.
Okay, what we're going to work on now is some combinations, just basic combinations, hand and foot. And really what we like to do is start real easy, throw a few hard combinations, but mainly it's one step at a time. It's for balance, technique, not so much power, not so much conditioning, although you can notice I'm into the punching and kicking now. My heart rate's up, I'm breathing heavy. It's a great workout, but we'll start nice and easy, just so you kickboxing fans and students of kickboxing can see kind of what it looks like to actually be doing these techniques, which we talked about earlier, against a live moving target. Okay, we'll start with kick, punch, 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 kick. Okay, kick, punch, 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 kick. Just so we'll just doing some kicking and punching mixed in together. And also, you know, you can work the legs. You know, nowadays in kickboxing, it was my favorite way of fighting. We fought with leg kicks, and you kick the leg too, which is a great target. And you kick with your shin, using your hip, like that. It's, you know, it's hard with a sparring partner, but because you really should work this on heavy bags. You don't want to hurt anybody. We hit with your shin, and then you fake low and you go high to the back of the head. Is a very good technique also. But you know, you work the bottom, you work the back leg. Here, you come in with your hands. Hitting the legs really brings the hands down and brings the attention of your opponent down. It brings their attention down. So it is a good technique. You're striking mainly with the shin, not the foot really, the shin. Here, 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 here. Go to the head. Okay, this is, you know, basic low kicks. But right now we work the just the hands and the feet, foot techniques. You can use the foot kicks, side kick with the hands. It's hard to even catch it because you just don't know what's coming next. So even with a training partner, it's hard to predict what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do my feet, my hand, finish with the feet, because the lead leg is so close. The lead leg is hard to keep track of. It's difficult to even keep track of it. Usually to train your lead leg, you do need to tell the person holding the pad what kick is coming so they can catch it properly. Because when you start faking, if it's hard to catch, you know it's hard to block when you're in a real fight. So it's a great technique.
The Tanto sword is one of the most versatile weapons as far as the movement and coordination of the body is concerned. The most varied trajectories are employed to reach our objective. The shape of the weapon is quite adapted to circular movements. We will see some examples of the principal trajectories of attack and counterattack. We do vertical trajectories between heaven and earth, or between earth and heaven. The strike comes from above, or it can also come from below. In a passing way, the strike can come from above or below. Now the diagonal strikes In a passing way,
ascendere,
the sword cuts and continues its trajectory.
passante.
The axe strike, typical of this weapon. Cross strike. We have horizontal circular strikes. These strikes take advantage of the curved shape of the sword. We close and open. The strikes with the point, orienting the point slightly downward. We can also attack on a horizontal line. The sword can be employed at short distance, using the free hand as support and reinforcement for the strike. The strike can be done from any position. We can also employ the handle. The end of the handle can be used to strike the adversary, with very diverse techniques coming from empty hand kung fu. Wielding the sword in this way, we can also use the edge for cutting or jabbing the point in. These are some of the principal trajectories for the sword.
Okay, so again, I take it here, I grab, I punch up, I lift this up, I pull it that way. Okay, same way, I pull it to here. Instead of punching, when I come up, he drops his shoulder into me, and it keeps me on my back. Or he puts his forehead into my belly. His forehead. Good. He puts his forehead into my belly to stop me from coming up. Okay, so when I go here, my first basic is to come here, reach over, pin this to my chest, and now transfer from my left to my right butt cheek with my leg high. This doesn't go here, but it lifts up, and then it goes on. Woo! That's the lock. Okay, come back. Option 2, I bring it to here. My hand grabs, and I bring my knee, not on the elbow because I'll hurt his arm, but on the shoulder. And then I bring it up. Okay. Good. Okay. The third way is his head is down. Okay. I need to get his arm, but I can't because he's here. So what I do from here, from this position, is I take his head and I move it. So I'll take it and I'll move his head. Now this will give me the ability to come up to here. Okay? He's gonna grab his hands around my back. Okay? So from this position, I'm gonna just slide my hips out real quick, place his face on the ground, and that's gonna give me the lock. So I push in, and then I move the other way. And that's how it goes on. Okay? His head's down. Okay? I take his head, I place it to the side, I grab his wrist, and I sit up. Notice I'm on my elbow. Okay? Grab your hands. Now what happens is he won't let me move. So what I do is I push my hips. Keep your hands. Grab your hands. I go here, and it's not working so quickly, I slide the other way. And that's gonna give me this. His head's down, I pull his head, I come up to here, he grabs his hands. Now, I'm trying to take it, he's not gonna give it to me. So watch what I do. Just from here, I use my hips as high as I can to the air, and I sweep him. Now, from this position, I go back to the first lock that I originally had. Kick off, pull him up, and lock it. Okay. His head's down, I move his head, I come up to here, he grabs his hands. Okay. I try to move him, but it's too strong. So I just pop up, boom, kick all the way off to here, take it off, okay, pick it up, and put it here, or here, with the wrist lock, or straight arm lock, or wrist lock. I need to control his elbow. His key to escape this lock is to move his elbow. Move your elbow. See, no lock. No lock, no lock. Control the elbow. Oh, there's a lock. Whoop, there's a lock. There's the lock. There's the lock. Okay? So, bang, lock. There's a wrist lock here. There's also a wrist lock here.
Now we're going to take a look at blending the krabi and the kali with our first technique, the drive-by using the back combination. The drive-by, remember, is I can run this way and go by him, or I can run this way and go by him. If I am going to the right, I am going to keep my right foot back so that I take the deep step that puts me across the distance. And if I'm going to the left, I'm going to start with the left foot back so I can take the deep step that puts me across the distance. If I have the left foot forward and I try to go to the left and I take the right foot forward, my back is exposed to him in this moment and he has aggressive potential there. This is not good for me. So I start with the right foot forward if I'm going to the left, so that when I step here, I am seeing him and I am in a position to respond to whatever he might do. There is, however, a problem if he is in this structure here, what we call the double caveman. is I might think to attack his right stick with the intention of hitting him there like that. However, if he's alert and has good reflexes and good bilateralism, he might respond with a left stick. I am wide open in this moment. So this particular combination, we're only going to do angling to the outside. So if I'm going to the right, my right foot is back. My starting position is going to be like this. For some of you, it may feel very weird to have this stick down. But I'm not going to be necessarily fighting like this. It's going to be done out of movement. This might be how I would set it up. But for right now, for training, for identifying what we're doing, this is going to be my starting position. And so as I step to the point of the right tooth, he now swings at me. At this moment here, he is wide open. But if I swing here and he doesn't fall down, he might hit me. So I solve this by not being there. Very, very easy. One more time. We're moving around. Boom. You see the timing of the shot. He's wide open. Again, if I do it going to the other side, I can get clocked. He doesn't even have to throw that right stick. He can just ignore my challenge of the right stick and hit me right there. So this one here is drive-by. We only do to the outside. If I'm going, his left foot's forward, that means I'm going to the right, which means my right foot is back. If I have the right foot forward and I try this technique, in this moment here, my structure is on sound. So I'm here, I might be moving around and masking what I'm doing, but in the moment that I go, there's the timing. That's our first idea. Drive-by, outside tooth against the Sinawali caveman. There it is. Horizontal strike on this one. We were practicing a moment ago with a vertical strike. It was on the tooth. We were going for the elbow. But right now, we are looking to have the most effective shot possible against the head. Horizontals have better knockout potential against the head. The bones here of some people are very thick, and you'd be surprised at how good a shot some people can take. You have better knockout effect when you're working on the horizontal. So for the first one, for the drive-by, roof, horizontal, head high. Here it is, right there. That's a terrible moment for him. He's just going, It is very discouraging for his will to continue to fight.